Hey, what's what, guys? My name is Asian Psycho, and I'm back for the 16th chapter of my Exploring the Arsenal series featuring me, Asian Psycho, aka Toe Sniper 98. And this time we'll be covering the G23 family. I believe this is going to be the longest chapter of any of my chapters I've featuring so far of the of my Exploring the Arsenal series, because there's been quite a lot of, or there have always been a lot of Glock variants in combat arms, but recently with the new addition of the G18 Cobra, which is the first fully automatic pistol in combat arms, the family has grown quite big. So it's gonna take some time to go over all the variants of the G23, but here we go. Starting with the very first variant, the G23, unlocked that recruit and costing 300 GP a day, so it's quite a cheap handgun. So now, before I get into the actual review on the G23 itself, I would like to ask if any of you guys out there have a G23 Chrome sitting in your inbox. I believe I've requested this in the Spaz 12 stock gold episode, or at the end of it, asking you guys if any of you had a G23 Chrome. I would like a G23 Chrome so I can get some gameplay of it. I would be willing to just get gameplay from other people who are willing to send it to me, or preferably I would like to get it myself so you guys can see how I perform with the G23 Chrome. But I understand that if you do not have the G23 Chrome, then I mean, it's an NX rare pistol, and it hasn't been in any of the missed end cases so far, I don't think. So it's gonna be quite toughy to get, but I mean, who knows? I might get my hands on it somehow. But until then, we'll see what happens. So let's get right into the G23 stats. The G23 has a 33 damage, so I'm going to be comparing this to the K5 a lot, because the K5 is the first pistol that I reviewed on this playlist. So if you guys think back to the K5, the K5 didn't really have much of a damage, or not. It didn't really have very good damage at 30, whereas the G23 has a 33 damage. So it's considerably more powerful than the K5. But for some reason, the G23 series have always lacked in firepower for me, except for like a few differences, like the G23 Chrome, obviously, the G18, the G18 Cobra, and the G18 Cobra. All the other normal G23 variants have always lacked like any sort of significant punch for me. Don't know why, but I mean, sometimes spamming that trigger finger just doesn't cut it sometimes. But whatever. I mean, we can always go for them one clicks, but that's a different story. Anyways, that's his damage. Moving on to his portability. Portability carries over from the K5 at 90, so indeed this is a very fast weapon to run with. If you only got your default M9 knife, I suggest you run with your G23 out, because it's got a 90 portability and you can get around places very quickly. Rate of fire on this G23 is 45. Now, I do not remember what the rate of fire was on the K5, but just like the K5, the G23 series is a fire as fast as you can click pistol family. So as fast as you can click, this gun will fire just as fast. So don't worry about any kind of limitation in your fire speed. All you need to do is just keep spamming that trigger and you should be gold. So at least that's how I like to play with G23s anyway. If you guys don't really like spamming, or don't really have much of a trigger finger, then I guess this isn't my recommended way, isn't for you, obviously, but whatever. Moving on to the accuracy is at a 60 for a G23. For some reason, I've tried one clicking with the G23 a lot. Not necessarily with any kind of scope or sight, but just it by itself, hip firing, and it doesn't hit many shots for me. Like, for example, right there, it didn't really hit all that many shots, even on the body for me. So I don't know how it'll do in terms of one clicking, but in my experience, it's not really that accurate. So what can I say? And now in terms of recoil, the recoil is pretty hefty for a pistol on the G23 at 56. And if you do tend to spam the trigger like I tend to do sometimes, or most of the time, what am I saying sometimes? Most of the time when I just just batshit crazy spam the trigger finger, the recoil can throw off my aim at certain times, especially at middle range. So the recoil you may want to keep an eye out for, so just keep that in mind. Now moving on to recoil spread. The recoil spread, this is a single fire weapon, so I mean it doesn't really have that much of a spread to begin with, but if you do fire fast enough, the spread will kind of get out of hand. So kind of tying in with my little words of advice about the recoil there. Recoil kickback, it doesn't really have a recoil kickback, but then again, because of its relatively large spread, if you just go absolute ham status with that trigger finger, it can bring your shots up, like up. It'll have a very, very high drag, like a pull upwards, if you know what I mean. So you might want to look out for that. And for recoil controllability, it is single fire, so it's like I said, it doesn't really have that much of a spread to begin with. So recoil controllability, for the most part, you don't really need to worry about as long as you're in close or short medium range. But you may want to consider one clicking for anything beyond that. So. And let's see, moving on to Tapfire ability. For Tapfire ability, it's a single fire weapon, so I mean, that should say it everything right there. Moving on to Sprint Drawback. Sprint Drawback is, I want to say, moderate for a pistol. I feel like the K5 has a faster sprint drawback time than the G23, but then again, it could be my own opinion. And I mean, who knows? I've never really actually tried timing how fast it recovers from your sprint, but whatever. Maybe it's a discussion for another day. Moving on to the draw speed. The draw speed is very fast, just like most pistols. All you need to do is a simple cock of the hand. I don't want to say charging handle, because I got flamed for calling that portion of the gun the charging handle. So all you need to do is cock back the slide, and you're golden. And it shouldn't really take less than a quarter of a second to do so. So yeah, it's a very good pistol whip weapon, so I like that word, pistol whip. Moving on to the center speed. The center speed, it is a single fire weapon, so I mean, per shot there is not much of a recoil spread, so yeah. Now moving on to the reload speed. The reload speed is once again very fast for a pistol. I believe that it's on par with like the K5 and the M92FS. They do have different reload animations, but I believe that the speeds are about the same, if not identical. So moving on to the what is it? The fire modes. Fire mode, it only comes with in one fire mode, and that is single auto, or single auto. What the fuck is that? Single fire. Sorry about that. And for its what is this? What is this? Luck. I don't feel that the G23, personally speaking, I don't really feel like the G23 is very lucky for me. I mean, you can see, you can see me throughout different intervals in this video trying getting like long range headshots, long range one clicks, and obviously I haven't hit a single one thus far. So, personally speaking, I don't think this gun is very lucky for me. That's just how I feel. So, I mean, it could. I don't know how you guys perform with it, but I'm sure you guys are luckier with this thing than I am. Moving on to the ammo capacity, it has a very healthy 15 round magazine and 30 rounds in reserve, so that gives it a grand total of 3 magazines in total. And moving on to the whatchamacallit, the muzzle, or actually no, the key physical characteristics. The key physical characteristics on the G23, I mean, it looks like a handgun, and there's not really much kind of standing out for the what is it? I mean, the G23 doesn't really stand out as a unique looking pistol in any way, so yeah. Key physical characteristics, basically there are none. And damn editing. let's see, let's fast forward this video a little bit. And right now the gameplay you see in front of you is a pretty hectic junkfully elimination game where people are running around with spec shit, and like someone was tossing like fire grenades and poison grenades and just like all kinds of bullshit. And I have a pretty rough time trying to pistol people here with my G23, but whatever, what can you do? Anyways, what was the next thing I wanted to talk about? Right, the muzzle noise. Muzzle noise is like I don't know how to describe it. It's like somewhere between low and high frequency. It's like it's very low, but it's very loud at the same time. It sounds as if it's like da 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 da, and you can hear it if you listen for it somewhat carefully. But then in like a huge firefight, you're not gonna hear it very well, and it's technically like low frequency, but it is still very loud. So it sounds like you're popping bubbles from like a bubble wrap or something, like really rapidly. I don't know. I don't know if that was a terrible example or not, but that's just the example I thought of on the spot. Hope that was good. So moving on to the attachment options, it can attach any kind of pistol modification on it, extended or magazine modifications, sights, suppressors, any of that. I do not recommend a silencer because, like I mentioned before, it sometimes has the problem of, or actually quite often it has the problem of, like, it just feels as if it's pretty weak and it just doesn't feel like it puts people down fast enough. So I don't suggest putting a silencer on this thing, because minus 10% damage is like holy shit. So, and let's see, I don't think you need an extended mag either, because I mean it's an extended mag, or the G23 already has a 15 round magazine to begin with, so that's a pretty large magazine. In fact, it's one of the largest magazines of all pistols and combat arms. So extended magazine, not really necessary. But at the same time, I don't think you want to go on putting the fast learner mag on this thing either, because 15 round magazine is the G23's signature, or one of its signature features, and because it reloads so fast with the since it reloads so damn fast, you don't really need a fast learner magazine just for its enhanced reload speed thingy. Now moving on to whether or not it's fireteam worthy and quarantine worthy. Fireteam, I mean, it does have a nice 15 round magazine, and it does have a lot of bullets in case you run out of all your primary weapon ammo, and then all you're down to is just like your secondary weapons. I mean, it is nice, but I don't know. It just sometimes it just feels so weak that it might feel like it'll take forever to take out a zombie with just your handgun. But well, I mean, better than the K5 at least, right? And as for quarantine, I suggest bringing this for quarantine because you can spam bullets at people. I mean, not people. What am I saying? Zombies, and just to keep them at bay. And it's got a pretty big ammo stock, so you can last quite some time with the G23 if you're careful enough and you are mindful of how many bullets you're spending, like fending off zombies while you're running around or something like that. Now, as for my frank personal opinions, let's see. So I've covered the G23's relatively low damage. I would like to mention as well that the G23, just like the K5, is one of those handguns where it has a slight delay between when you fire your last shot and when you need to when you tap R to reload, or whatever your toggle button is to reload your weapon. It does have that slight delay, just like the K5. So in order to negate it, I recommend quick switching with the pistol to have it start reloading immediately after you've run out of bullets in your magazine. I mean, it doesn't really matter that too much, but I mean, if you are in a close quarter situation where you need the first person who pulls out their handgun wins the battle, that just may save your life. So just keep that in mind. And let's see, what else did I want to talk about? I believe I already mentioned the fact that the G23 family is the kind of family of pistols where if you can fire as fast as you can click. So I know that not many people believed me when I first said that, but I mean, go ahead and try it for yourself, guys. If you really don't think that the G23 is indeed a fire as fast as you can click weapon, then I suggest you guys go buy a G23 right now and figure it out, or not figure it out, but try it out yourselves, because you see me firing pretty crazily in these gameplays, so I mean, if I can do it, so can you. So yeah, that should be my review on the G23 and my frank personal opinions on it. Overall, it is a very good handgun, very fun handgun, in fact. So fun, in fact, that I almost regret not switching out my default M92FS for a G23 back in the day when Nexon offered the default pistol switch option for 25k NX or something like that, or 10k NX, because it's a pistol. But whatever, I can always buy G23s from the GP market, because I mean, it's only 300 GP anyway. It's like so cheap. Anyways, my final rating for the G23 handgun would be, in terms of pistols, I want to say about 90 at close range. Middle range, I want to say about a 75, and about a 20 at long range. God, it sucks at long range in my opinion. So that gives us a total final rating of 61 and 2/3%. And hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. And once again, I'm looking for someone with a G23 Chrome. And once again, this will be a hell of a long of a chapter. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all later. Peace. Thanks, Blade.